Hi guys. I decided to read The Richest Man in Babylon and record it for good measure. This was recommended to me by a fella in the Hexagon community, so shout out to Wales Only One. He's on Twitter. I think income.watch is his handle. He also has a YouTube channel called Wells Only. So let's begin. So this book was written by George S. Clason, and this is the revised and updated edition for the 21st century. Okay, modern English version. Enjoyed reading this classical book on financial investment and fiscal success through a series of delightful short stories straight from the heart of ancient Babylon. Learn economic tips and tools for financial success. These tools have withstood the test of time and are applicable still today. Enjoy reading and start saving today. Okay, sounds interesting. I haven't actually read a single page. I've been really busy, but this has given me the opportunity to make some time to learn. And hopefully, you guys will learn something too, if it really is good. If it's not, then I'll probably will stop after one or two chapters. Okay. So on the contents page, and the first chapter is called The Tale of the Man Who Desired Much Gold. Don't we all? Okay. I shall begin. Banser, the chariot builder of Babylon, was thoroughly discouraged. From his seat upon the low wall surrounding his property, he gazed sadly at his simple home and the open workshop in which stood a partially completed chariot. His wife frequently peered at the open door. Her furtive glances in his direction reminded him that the mill bag was almost empty, and he should be at work finishing the chariot, hammering and hewing, polishing and painting, stretching taut the lever over the wheel rims, preparing it for delivery so he could collect from his wealthy customer. Nevertheless, his fat, muscular body sat stolidly upon the wall. His slow mind was struggling patiently with a problem for which he could find no answer. The hot, tropical sun, so typical of this valley of the Euphrates, beat down upon him mercilessly. Beads of perspiration formed upon his brow and trickled down unnoticed to lose himself in the hairy jungle on his chest. Beyond his home towered the high terraced walls surrounding the king's palace. Nearby, cleaving the blue heavens, was the painted tower to the temple of Bel. In the shadow of such grandeur was his simple home and many others far less neat and well cared for. Babylon was like this, a mixture of grandeur and squalor, of dazzling wealth and direst poverty, crowded together without plan or system within the protecting walls of the city. Behind him, had he cared to turn and look, the noisy chariots of the rich jostled and crowded aside the sandaled tradesmen, as well as the barefoot beggars. Even the rich, in turn, were forced to turn into the gutters, to clear the way for the long lines of slave water carriers. On the king's business, each bearing a heavy goat skin of water to be poured upon the hanging gardens. Bansier was too engrossed in his own problem to hear or heed the confused hubbub of the busy city. It was the unexpected twanging of the strings from a familiar lyre that aroused him from his reverie. He returned and looked into the sensitive, smiling face of his best friend, Cobby, the musician. "May God bless you, great liberality, my good friend," began Cobby with an elaborate salute. "Yet it appears he has already been so generous that you need not labour. I rejoice with you in your good fortune. Moreover, I would even share it with you. Kindly extract but 2 humble shekels from your purse, which must be bulging, or else you will be working busily in your shop, and lend them to me until after the noblemen's feast tonight. You will not even miss them before they are returned." "If I did have 2 shekels," Banser responded gloomily, "I could lend them to no one, not even to you, my best friend. For they would be my fortune, my entire fortune. No one lends his entire fortune, not even to his best friend." "What?" exclaimed Cobby with genuine surprise. "You haven't a single shekel in your purse, yet you sit like a statue upon a wall. Why not finish the chariot? How else can you feed yourself? This is not like you, my friend. Where is your endless energy? Is something distressing you?" "It must be torment from God," Banser agreed. "It began with a dream, a senseless dream, in which I thought I was a man of means. From my belt hung a handsome purse, heavy with coins. There were shekels, which I cast with careless freedom to the beggars. There were pieces of silver, which I bought finery for my wife, and whatever I desired for myself. There were pieces of gold, which made me feel assured of the future, unafraid to spend the silver. I had a glorious feeling of contentment. You would not have recognized me as your hard-working friend, nor would you have known my wife. So free from wrinkles was her face, and shining with happiness. She was again the smiling maiden of our early married days." "A pleasant dream, indeed," commented Cobby. "But why should such pleasant feelings turn you into a glum statue upon the wall?" "Why, indeed? Because when I awoke and remembered how empty my purse was, a rebellious feeling came over me. Let's talk it over. For, as the sailors say, we ride in the same boat, the 2 of us. As youngsters, we learned wisdom together from the priests. As young men, we shared each other's pleasures. As grown men, we have always been close friends. We have always been contented subjects of our king. We have been satisfied to work long hours and spend our earnings freely. We have earned many coins in the years that have passed, but yet we can but dream of the joys that come from wealth. Bah! Are we not more than dumb sheep? We live in the richest city in the whole world. Travelers say none equals it in all wealth. All around us are displays of wealth, but we possess none of it ourselves. After half a lifetime of hard labor, you, my best of friends, have an empty purse and ask me, may I borrow a mere 2 shekels until after the noblemen's feast tonight? Then, what do I reply? Do I say, here's my purse, its contents I will gladly share? No. Admit that my purse is as empty as yours. What is the matter? Why can't we acquire silver and gold beyond the bare necessities of life? Consider also our sons, Bansir continued. Are they not following the footsteps of their fathers? Need they and their families and their sons' family live all their lives in the midst of such treasures of gold, and yet, like us, be content to eat sour milk and porridge? Never in the years of our friendship have I heard you speak like this before, Bansir. Cobby was puzzled. Never in all these years did I think like this before. From early dawn until darkness, I have labored to build the finest chariots any man could make. soft-heartedly, hoping that someday God would recognize my worthy deeds and grant me great prosperity. This he has never done. At last, I realize that he will never do. Therefore, my heart is sad. I want to be a man of means. I want to own lands and cattle, to have fine clothing and money in my purse. I am willing to work for these things with all my strength, with all the skill in my hands, with all the cunning in my mind, but I want my labors to be fairly rewarded. What's the matter with us? Again, I ask you, why can't we have a just share of the good things, or the gold with which to buy them? I wish I had an answer, Kirby replied. I am no more satisfied than you. My earnings from my lyre are quickly gone. Often I have to plan and scheme so that my family won't be hungry. I have also yearned for a lyre large enough that could truly sing the strains of music surging through my mind. With such an instrument, I could make such music finer than even the king has heard before. Such a lyre you ought to have. No man in all of Babylon could make it sing more sweetly. So sweetly that not only the king, but God himself will be delighted. But how can you attain it while we both of us as poor as the king's slaves? Listen to that bell. Here they come. He pointed to the long column of half-naked, sweating water bearers, plodding laboriously up the narrow street from the river. 5 abreast they marched, each bent under a heavy goat skin of water. A strong-figured man their leader is, Kirby indicated. The bell-wearer who marched in front without a load. There are many fine men in the line, Banser agreed. As good as we are, tall, blonde men from the north, laughing black men from the south, little brown men from the nearer countries, all marching together from the river to the gardens, back and forth, day after day, year after year. Yet they have not an ounce of happiness to look forward to, only beds of straw upon which to sleep and hard porridge to eat. Pity the poor brutes, Cobby. Pity them I do, yet you make me realize how little better off we are, though we call ourselves free men. That is the truth, Cobby. Unpleasant though it may be, we had enough of living slavish lives year after year, working, getting nowhere. Could we not find out others acquire gold and do as they do? Kobe inquired. Perhaps. There is some secret we might learn if we searched out those who know, replied Banser thoughtfully. Just today, suggested Kobe, I passed our old friend, Arcad, riding in his golden chariot. He didn't look over my head, ignore me as many in his station might consider his right. Instead, he waved at me for all to see as he bestowed his smile of friendship on his friend Cobby, the musician. He is claimed to be the richest man in all of Babylon, Banser mused. So rich, the king is said to seek his golden aid in affairs of the treasury. Arcad has an income that constantly keeps his purse full, no matter how much he freely spends, Cobby replied. Income, that's it, exclaimed Banser. I want an income that will keep flowing into my purse, whether I sit upon the wall or travel to far lands. Arcad must know how a man can make an income for himself. Do you suppose he could teach a mind as slow as mine? I don't see why not. He taught his knowledge to his son. No, monsieur. Cobby responded, wasn't he the one who went to Nineveh and became without aid from his father, one of the richest men in that city? Cobby, you are giving me a great idea. A new light gleamed in Banser's eye. It costs nothing to ask wise advice from a good friend, and Arcad was always that. Never mind that our purses are empty. Let that not detain us. We are tired of being without gold in the midst of plenty. We want to become men of means. Come, let's go to Arcad and ask how we, also can earn income for ourselves. You speak wisely, Banser, and help me begin to understand why we have never found any measure of wealth. We never sought it. You labored patiently to build the staunchest chariots in Babylon and devoted yourself wholeheartedly to that purpose. Therefore, you succeeded at it. I strove to become a skillful lyre player, and at that, I too succeeded. For those things in which we exerted our best efforts, we succeeded. Now, at last, we see the light. It beckons us to learn more so that we can prosper more. This is the wisest thing we have ever done. With a new understanding, we can find honorable ways to fulfill our desires. Let's go to Arcad today, Banser urged. Also, let's ask our other friends who have fared no better than us to join us so that they too may share in his wisdom. You always were thoughtful of your friends, Banser. Therefore, you have many. We will do as you say. We will go to Arcad today and take our friends with us. That's the end of chapter 1. Pretty good start, I believe. Yeah, this could be good. Okay, I shall end it there.